it's Doug. I am the Sanderson collector, and today I'm going to be talking about editions of Tress of the Emerald Sea from around the world. Tress has been out for a little over 3 months now, and so there are plenty of different editions, all very nice and very green around the world to talk about today. The first of the editions is the one that most of y'all will be familiar with, the Dragonsteel edition from the Kickstarter. And I actually have one copy here that was sent to me by a friend, which is absolutely gorgeous with all the art and the interior things they've done with it, as well as the 12-part foiling on the cover. If you want to see more details about this, check out my unboxing of the US edition of Tress, which is actually this copy right here. I have 2 copies of the Kickstarter edition of Tress, and I have actually noticed there is a slight difference between these, and that difference is right up here on the text block. For the original one, which went out in the original wave, you can see that the glue is very, very flat, and for the one that went out in the later wave, when Dragonsteel started getting more books, the glue is not quite as flat, and it is a little bit more indented in each section, which indicates that the signatures are maybe sewn in. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not opening my book far enough to see if there's stitching in the margins. I do find it interesting that there appear to be small differences. I have not confirmed these with Dragonsteel, and I am not sure what causes this. There is always a chance that it's just a variation in the different copies of the book, and so we don't have any confirmation that this is a separate state of the book or anything like that, so don't go jumping to conclusions. If it is indeed a separate state, I will make a video talking about that. Those are the Dragonsteel editions of Tress. In addition, there is another US edition, and that is the regular hardcover out from Tor. And this one does not have much of the interior art. It has the title page here, and at the front it's got the end papers and one piece of art, which is at the very front of the Dragonsteel edition as well, and no further art throughout, although the chapter header art did get carried over. One of the other major differences is where in the Dragonsteel edition, the chapter name is above the chapter art for each chapter. In the Tor edition, the title is below. I personally like it more when it's below. I mean, I do miss the green on the title icons and so on, but I like the larger chapter name below the icon because sometimes when I was trying to read my Dragonsteel edition, I would miss that chapter title. Yes, my edition is a little bit banged up. That's because this was the last one left at the bookstore. Hopefully this will just be my reading copy and I can get another copy later. A quick look under the dust jacket. There's nothing really special here. There's no embossing or anything. It's just the title on the spine. And the last note about this, on the back of the book, there's a little note from Brandon, which has a printed Brandon signature on it. And this is the first English edition that I know of that has a printed Brandon signature on it. Hopefully these don't start showing up on eBay as signed dust jacket editions, although I suspect that they will. And so we'll have to see how the collecting market evolves around that. Moving on around the world, the edition that is most similar to the Dragonsteel edition is this edition, which is the deluxe Spanish hardcover. And this one not only has the front end papers and this art in here, but it also has all of the interior art as well. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous and another very worthy addition. It is also a case-bound hardcover, and it has some foiling on the black and the gold on the outside, which I think is very pretty. I do very much like this Spanish edition put out by Nova. The last country that I actually have copies from is France, and there are 2 editions in France. There is the deluxe edition. Mine is a misprint, which I think is really cool. The end papers are supposed to look like this, and in mine, The front end papers are flipped upside down and miscut, but otherwise it is very similar inside to the Dragonsteel edition. It has all of the art inside, the acknowledgments, all of that cool stuff, and there's some very, very nice artwork in here for sure. I love all the work that Howard Lyon did, and I absolutely love this little edition. This one is significantly smaller than the US editions, and so it's a cute little edition to go on the shelf. And instead of gold foiling, they went with silver foiling on this one, and the rest of the cover is not foiled out, but it is still very pretty. And the regular French edition has Howard Lyon's art of Captain Crow on the front. Captain Crow ranks up there with my least favorite characters in the Cosmere, up with Straff Venture and Moash. And so it's very cool to see her get the front. The cups and all the interior is non-colored, and the green did not follow over to that. Just like the US edition out from Tor, there is no interior art in this one. It actually has less than that edition because it does not have that one piece in the front. So this is the least arted edition of all of the editions that I have. However, it is just a paperback edition that is meant to be accessible and at a relatively cheap price, and so I think it's very cool that the publisher Livre de Poche went ahead and put out the 2 editions in French. So all told, I have 6 different copies of 5 full editions here, and I think they are all very cool editions of Tress of the Emerald Sea, and there are several others out. I hope you enjoyed your deep dive look into the 6 editions of Tress that I have. Like I said, there is a UK edition that is out now as well, which I do not have, but looks absolutely gorgeous. I will be acquiring that one soon. And in addition, there are editions out from a Serbian publisher who apparently got their start in making video game books, I think. And I have heard that there is a Brazilian edition as well, and so there's a lot of really cool editions coming out. There is a Polish edition, which either is out now or will be out soon, and so there are a lot of editions of Tress from around the world. If you enjoyed your look at all of these editions of Tress, please go ahead and leave me a like. If you want to catch future videos for Sanderson Collecting, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I will be back next week with another cool video about Brandon Sanderson Collecting, and until then, happy collecting.